What's up, everyone? Daddy Robux here, and today we are continuing our playthrough of Rime of the Frostmaiden. Karis is our DM through this series, so I'm gonna turn it over to her for the recap. And go ahead, Karis.
Ooh, and last we left our heroes. They were being pillars of the community, helping Dugan's Hole after it had been destroyed largely by a dragon. They helped put out fires. They helped triage with healing. They helped gather up the dead. They spoke with the dead spoke to the dead speaker to try and interrogate her, but you got to give them a little bit of leeway on that. And anyway, they got no useful information for all of that. So we don't know what the dragon was targeting. We don't know why the dragon left the warehouse untouched. We almost know why a descendant has no life support and is very cold and they're getting frostbite while they try sleeping there, but what the heck? Oh. But in getting a rest, after their labors of helping to clean up Dugan's Hole and get it as close to normalcy as possible, there was a tentative knock on the hatch door. And there were some children there. Please, please help us. Some wolves have kidnapped some people. Please, please. You're so strong you took care of a dragon. Surely you can take care of these wolves and restore people, right? And our heroes, being heroes, said, of course we can do that. And they went to find the wolves. And they killed the wolves. And they followed the wolves' tracks back. And they've gotten to a giant ice lodge hovering out of the mist in the darkness of the night. And so now we rejoin our people. Outside of this, they're standing outside with the 3 entrances in front of them. And they will get a chance to choose where they're going to go. So I'm going to move through to the ice lodge map, and you are over on the far right. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I personally think we should head right in. No sense in sneaking about. We suspect that those kids, their friend is in there. We shouldn't waste any time.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Can anybody else only see the light that's emitted by Tali's thing? That's all I can see.
Is that all you're
Probably.
supposed to see?
Don't know. I mean, I don't have dark vision. If that.
So then that's all you're
yes,
supposed
that
to
would
see.
all
Ah,
you're
okay.
supposed to see.
Okay.
It is middle of the night, shortly after midnight, so
I would
yes.
like to light a torch. Or there's a lantern. Who has the lantern?
Me.
I've got the lantern.
He has the lantern, I mean.
Are you just gonna hold that, or do you want me to hold it?
You want to take it away from the mage hand? Really?
Well, I was just
I might have to
offering the
slap you with
idea.
that hand.
It'd be easier to slap him if it didn't have a lantern in it.
That's true.
I don't know. The lantern would make a nice crunch and splash of oil and...
Okay, fine then. You can have the lantern.
So is the lantern emitting? Oh, it is. I guess as the lantern goes forward, I would stay like, 10, 15 feet behind it just letting it illuminate everything as we head in.
Which
So you're
way are
gonna-
we going?
I thought we were heading straight in.
Left, right, or center?
No lollygagging.
Well, there's 3 doors. So we're going to do the middle one, not one of these ones.
I mean, I haven't heard an argument to go into a side corridor instead.
Well, are there any tracks that steer more heavily to one of the entrances than the other?
Well, at a quick glance, the center and the left ones both look kind of churned up on the map. You could give me a survival check if you wanted to try and look more carefully.
All right.
Uh, so it does look like the center has more, it is more heavily trafficked. Looking at this, you can see some very small footprints to the very far right. You can see some very large beast hoof prints in the center and to the left, and you see the wolf tracks kind of on top in both the center and the left. You do not see any giant tracks.
All right. Seeing this, I'll relay this to the party to that maybe the center seems to be the best, seems to be the most heavily trafficked, which means we might be able to find whoever it is a little bit faster if we go forward.
I can send my manifestation forward just to have a bit of a look. It can sort of tell me what it sees telepathically.
That'd be useful, yes.
All right, I'm gonna send it in.
Now, how does it manifest? What does it look like?
It looks like the token that you see before you.
This is Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Does it look somewhat transparent? Does it look solid? What does it?
Oh, it definitely looks a little transparent. Yeah, a little translucent. It's glowing with an eerie blue light, and it looks.
Okay.
But yeah, the image is basically a floating head, looking knowingly while pointing at its temple.
Okay. What sort of senses does it have? It has vision.
I can see. Yeah, it has vision, dark vision.
Does it have does it have hearing, sense of smell? What does it have?
It can hear and see, and it has dark vision.
All right.
So yeah, it's gonna start moving in,
So we're
and
sitting in,
it can be up to 300 feet away from me.
So in this area here, in this hallway, it is actually choked with ice, and you kind of have to navigate your way around icicles and although it is kind of trodden, you can kind of get through there, but there is quite a bit of obstruction here, and so you aren't just going quite straight. The icicles
Okay.
above look pretty darn sharp.
hello
Okay.
again, Kitty.
And as you
And then
move
I
up
see, yeah.
ahead, this oval chamber with high walls, and all the ceilings here are like 30 feet high, clearly giant sized. So this oval chamber with high walls of glittering ice resembles a sepulcher. There's a frozen, hacked up corpse of a frost giant on the floor, entombed in translucent ice. And looming next to it is a woolly mammoth with its head kind of down as it makes some sort of sobbing noises. And there is carved out of a single block of ice is a giant-sized throne atop a circular dais. And chiseled into the throne's backrest is a very large rune.
Okay, so I'll relate to the party. The approachway is chocked full of ice, so we'd have to be careful going through, navigating through, and there are sharp icicles hanging from above. So any sudden
The mammoth turns
earthquakes.
to look and glower at you,
Okay.
but it has not actually moved.
In the main chamber, there appears to be a dead frost giant, and a large mammoth, just kind of hanging around its body, and I can see like a large throne on a circular dais. And it keeps moving. It doesn't. It ignores the mammoth. I just need to make sure that it is within. Oh yeah, loads.
So, hearing the description, Azathoth is going to start walking forward.
And as you're moving that way, the mammoth is kind of moving to follow you. Over to from where you are to your left, there's a massive table hewn from a single block of ice, surrounded by chairs also made of ice. Many of the chairs are actually kind of chipped and cracked. And from here, no, it doesn't have a sun. Okay, never mind. I need to look and see where Azathoth is.
Here?
Okay. Oh, I'm not seeing your I'm still seeing your token way back here again. Roll20 is doing weird stuff.
So then move the token so it
Yeah,
refreshes on your app.
Ping where you are. Okay. Let me. Okay. Does not appear to have noticed you as it is moving to kind of follow
The fake Tali.
Yeah.
As we're moving, Talis just says, "As procès home," and then carries on moving forward.
What the hell does that mean?
Be careful. Let's be careful.
The specter hears kind of a rustling noise further into the room.
Coming from where?
Kind of coming from over in this direction.
Okay.
And what are the rest of you doing?
Me.
Stop. Okay. As the specter gets there, there's a whisper that says, "Hide, duck! Shh! Don't let anybody know we're here." And it sees kind of hiding behind the chairs a couple of kobolds. Okay, now what are the rest of you doing?
I'm walking forward. You said there is a rune, a giant rune.
There's a rune on the back of the chair. Yes. And it is an ice rune.
Okay.
I'm just trying to keep up with the lanterns.
So,
yeah, same with Talis. He needs to make sure that he's not being trapped in the dark, so he's moving along as well.
So I speak giant. Would I know the purpose of this rune, or
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, hey, I'm actually good at this. No, I'm not.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, it's an ice rune on an ice chair. Seems perfectly good. And the mammoth turns and looks at you and says, "You!
Me?
This is all your fault!"
What did I do?
And it puts its head down and looks like it's about to charge at you, and let's do some initiative.
What?
How could you? Look what you've done.
Wow. Well, okay. Did I roll higher in initiative than this poor mammoth? Yes. Oh, he rolled a 1.
Did we have everybody? I didn't look. Yeah, looks like we have everybody. All right. What do you do, Azathoth?
What do I do? We will step to here. And it looks like it's getting ready to charge.
Yep, it's got its head down and its tusks forward.
I'm going to attack. And I don't know if it's relevant or not, but we're gonna make non-lethal attacks. So, 2 attacks with the glaive.
And those both hit.
So 19 total, and then we'll do a bonus attack with the Polar Master. Looks like that. Also hits for 6.
All right.
And then, I don't know if its reach is higher than mine, but I'm going to step back 5 feet. Does that provoke an opportunity attack?
That's a really good question. Let me see.
I'm gonna assume yes. I'm gonna assume
Reach. Yes, that provokes an opportunity attack.
that's perfectly fine. Hit me. Hit me. He does hit me. Ooh, ooh, ow. Okay.
Yep.
I am going to throw an inspiration at the mammoth, but unsettling words, not inspiration.
Okay.
So he has a minus a d8 on his next check, and don't bother adding it because he's about to.
On the
use it.
next saving throw. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I'm going to toll vet it.
Ah. And that is a wisdom save.
With minus d8.
Okay, that's going to fail. So it does not have any damage yet. So it's going to take 19.
Wait,
All
it doesn't.
right.
It doesn't have any damage.
Oh, it does have damage.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it does have
yeah.
damage.
It
in
still
any
should
case-
be 19.
Yeah, I was going to say, in any case, you rolled the appropriate one, I assume.
Yes.
Yes, it does have damage.
And
And this loud dong goes out, and you get a few little cracks in the ice around, and the beast kind of shudders and shrinks back just slightly.
I will move back, and that will be it.
Okay, Cairo. We're not hearing you? You're muted?
You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I move up there, and I want to use my Channel Divinity Guided Strike. Okay, and is bonus action? Is Channel Divinity a bonus action or an action?
what does it say on your it depends on the usage. I'm pretty sure it's an action. Or no, for
I'm pretty sure it's a bonus action, but it should show
no,
up.
I think Guided Strike says when you make an
Oh.
attack, you can use your Channel Divinity. Can you link it? No, not Channel Divinity. There. Use your Channel Divinity
Yeah.
strike when you make an attack roll. You use your Channel Divinity. Yeah. So it's no
So
kind of
it's
action.
part of your attack roll. Yeah, it's part of your attack roll.
Okay.
And actually, you make the choice whether to use it or not after you see what you roll for your attack and before I say whether it's a success or not. So you don't have to use it if it's clear you would have a success anyway. Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay, hold on, because there's another feat I think I want to use. I think it's under Great Weapon Master, where if you take
Yeah, you don't have to announce
minus...
it. Just roll. Right?
Okay.
You can set that on your sheet to make a Great Weapon Master roll.
Under your Beyond 20 settings. Okay, are you going to use your Channel Divinity? To get the plus 10 to your roll?
That would make it a 16 to hit. And a 25 damage. Which we know hits. He hit on a wait, did I hit on 13? Yeah, I hit on a 13 earlier.
Okay, so he is using it.
But he didn't enable it. So it's, if he uses the Channel Divinity, it would be a 6 on the roll plus 10 and then 25 damage. And I'm if it's okay with you, Spartan, if it's okay with you, William, I'm gonna adjust your Great Axe to have Great Weapon Master included. Is that all right?
We can't hear you, Williamson. You can nod if you want for us to see.
Okay, yes.
Okay, there you go. So now every time you attack with your Great Axe, that's already in there.
Okay, and so what's the final on the
25 damage? And he has a second attack.
And this mammoth's eyes are turning red. This mammoth might not get might not get a turn.
Why did it not? I think you need to refresh your page for my changes to take effect on your end. So if he Great Weapons, that is a 18 and 23 damage.
23 damage. Good lord! Your Great Axe is just carving these great gouges right through the thick fur and deep into the muscles of this poor creature. It is now bleeding and bits of flesh are falling off of it, and it is angry. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay. Endwise.
All right, I'm going to rush up to there. I'm going to use Booming Blade. This will be a two-handed strike. I don't know if it's actually going to show two-handed or not.
Over on the right. Mm-hmm.
No, there is no sneak attack because it's not a finesse weapon. Cairo, you can use your reaction to make another attack.
Which you might want to do so because that. So what would the adjusted number for that Great Axe roll be?
-1.
It looks like it's already adjusted because his Great Axe is a +1 instead of a +6.
Oh, you're right.
Now.
Nope, that's there. He must have refreshed his page. So now
Okay.
that it'll display accurate every time.
Okay, so that is a miss. Those are both misses.
Then I'm going to finish by moving back to here.
And I presume that was a disengage?
No, I have mobility. I made an attack on.
Mobility. Yes. Okay.
It did already use a reaction anyway.
It had a turn. No, it didn't. I lied.
Not yeah. All right. So Tally's is going to go ahead and, as a bonus action, he's going to move his spectral thing 30 feet back over this way, and I'm going to use my gem to go ahead and cast the spell out of it and drop a web with a DC 18. I'll go ahead and link it.
Yep. Dex save. Okay. And I don't know why. Music to loop. That's not. Yeah, that is the right one. Okay. And okay, it is restrained.
Okay. That'll be my turn.
Hey, Landar.
All right. So moving over just slightly and casting Chill Touch to the Mammoth.
Ooh, all right. That does nice necrotic damage to it, purple wisps and all, and you can see what looks like black edges along those those deep cuts that were made earlier by Cairo.
All right, and then I will actually move forward up to about here, and then that'll be it.
Okay. And our mammoth here is going to. It's a DC 16 strength.
No, this is a DC 18 because I use my gem.
Yes. All right. So strength. Oh, good lord! It's so mad it is just stomping around in place and it's not making any progress at all, and it's booming out. This is all your fault. You did this. You did this to my master, and it is fussing and fuming and yeah, getting nowhere. Azathoth.
All right. I am going to move forward 1 square, which I can see roll 20 in register because the thing stayed behind. But I will step forward. Thank you. And what do I want to do? We are going to use we're just gonna use our action to attack again. Again, trying to hit it non-lethal.
Okay.
So 26 and 27.
Those will hit.
Remember, you have advantage on those.
Oh, I do. Here, let's just see if we crit. We do not. So total of 9, 18 damage.
And the beast goes unconscious. If I put it 0, it'll cross it out.
It's
But
fine.
the beast goes unconscious.
So then, with it being unconscious, I would use my object interaction, take my rope out of my bag, and then just kind of throw the rope at its feet. And I'm gonna just gesture to the rest of the group. Let's tie him up.
Sounds like a plan.
Why
Landar
are-
will come help.
Why are we tying him up?
This beast is confused. And even though it has attacked us, meant to do us harm, it doesn't feel right to kill such a creature.
There are some kobolds in the other room, by the way.
Well, once we secure this mammoth so that he is no longer a danger to us, maybe these kobolds can give us some insight as to what has happened here.
use the web.
Last concentration for an hour.
Okay. So are you keeping it up, or are you going to drop it?
Yeah, I'm keeping it up.
Okay. All right.
I guess, yeah, that'll keep them restrained. And then the rope will provide extra restraints.
Okay.
How do we get into the room with the kobolds through the web?
That's a good point.
Couldn't we just climb over the mammoth? Just use him as like a.
The mammoth is like covered in the webs. Like they've.
It's all
Oh.
covered with sticky web, but yeah.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
Can we go around? Maybe there's multiple, or maybe one of the other entrances, right?
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
good point.
maybe.
Let me just see. And I start floating my spectral mind over to the other side. Oh, it looks like the other entrances lead to these other rooms. Also, there's a great big whale carcass on the other side of here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess that's the scale. All right. So we have a little bit of time. Do we want to go around to the kobolds right away, or Pip? That throne is it's got a rune on it. You should go sit in it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't see why not.
I mean, you are wearing a crown after all.
Aren't you wearing a crown too?
That's only sometimes.
Did you say that the rune's on the back or on the front?
She said it was on the back.
Well, but it's on
Is
on
it
the
on
front
the
of the
back
back.
of the seat? Like, so we
I
can
see.
it looking
Yes,
from the
so that you can be seen from the front. Yes.
Okay. I'll take a look at it and see if I can figure it out.
I'm gonna sit in the chair while he's trying to look at it.
All right. So
Dude, it's like Dungeon 101. You never sit in the throne.
so
I told you to.
I know it. Well, I
sitting in the chair,
did.
sitting in the chair, you feel kind of a sort of waving motion, as you can tell that there is magic here, and you think you could use that magic.
Oh,
Okay, well, I'm concentrating on a spell right now, so I'm not going to.
I think
Pip's
she's
the one who's in
talking
the
to-
chair.
yeah.
Pip's the one
Yeah.
who could use the magic.
Okay.
And you get this vision in the back of your mind of snow and ice and wind and power.
Huh. I don't. Okay, so I have this vision. Okay,
You're sitting
I'm
there.
gonna get out of the chair. This seems like the safe option. I'm sitting up or standing up.
Okay, and that feeling kind of fades away from you. But you're still close enough that you can tell that the throne is magical.
Yeah, there's something with that chair.
What?
It's cold. You know, like it's magical, but cold. Probably because it's made of ice. Now that I'm thinking about it.
That would make a lot of sense.
I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna stay over here.
I'll move up and sit in the chair.
All right. So as you sit in the chair, you feel kind of the aura and waves of magic, and you feel powerful, and you get these visions of ice and wind and snow, and it makes you feel even bigger and more powerful than you are. And you feel like you could use this.
Ice and snow. I know a little bit about that. So, I guess then
It reminds you of the high mountain blizzards.
Yeah. So
And
we're
Tali's a specter. That room is pretty much what you see.
Okay. Just while I'm kind of investigating, like when people are getting up and moving through, I'm trying to figure out what that rune says
Yep.
or what it means.
means
Looks
ice.
musty and dusty.
I already know that.
Oh. Are you going to unleash the power of the throne?
Yes. I'm a Goliath. I like the snow and ice. So I'm going to concentrate on that blizzard and all that snow and ice and really relish in the nostalgia of the high mountain tribes.
Okay. Everyone else give me perception checks. If you're curious about what he's doing. Otherwise, I can use your passive.
Yeah, well, I'm concentrating on something else right now, so I would probably suggest using my passive.
Yeah.
Passive is fine for me. I'm not paying super close attention.
Actually, your passive is really high. All right. So, Giz, you, Andwise, you hear the faint keen of wind outside the lodge. And Tally's, this is a deep hole.
Okay. I'm gonna my thing. Spectre's gonna poke its head in the barrels and see what's in them.
You've been in the area a while enough. Looks like whale blubber.
Okay. And then it's gonna start. It's gonna start going down the hole. I'll say that.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, there's a really big hole in the other room.
Do you see the? Let me see here. No, you don't see them. I shall make that so that you see where it goes.
Hey, Andwise, could you just leave a little light so I can see what I'm doing? Thank you.
Sorry, thought I heard something outside.
All right. Yeah. So with that, seeing this, it's gonna my Spectre's gonna float back inside.
Okay, and you can see there's kind of a residue along the walls of that.
Okay. Do I know what kind of a creature would be able to burrow and leave that kind of residue?
Give me a history check. Yeah, you do. Hey, this looks like what you've read about Remores.
Okay. It seems that there's a
But it
hole in
looks
the other
old.
room. Hole in the other. It looks like there was it was carved by Remores. Well, it seems quite old. Probably hasn't been around in a while. And my Spectre will just kind of come floating back through the wall.
And the noise of the wind outside is starting to get louder, and more of you are becoming aware of it. Let's see, that would be well, Azathoth is kind of aware of this anyway, and Cairo is becoming aware of the sound outside, the wind sound outside of the lodge.
Do I manage to glean anything new for the from the rune on the back of the chair, or is it just a symbol for ice? Is that all I get out of it?
It's a symbol for ice. That's all you. Well, the history check was for the
Was
tunnel.
yeah.
Although
But-
Pip has said there's something up with that throne, and Azathoth's clearly doing something with that throne.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can draw a conclusion based on what you've told us.
Mm-hmm.
I focused on the snow and ice. Sounds like the wind is picking up outside.
Mm-hmm.
Does the throne control the weather?
You don't sense. Do you try to quell the weather with it?
Yeah, sure. Sure. I am a curious lad. I've drawn a conclusion, so now I'm gonna try and focus on clear skies. Right? Try and push the snow and ice back. And does the weather outside become more serene?
And you start and you feel that you've released it, and it does not become more serene. You can still feel the blizzard building, and the specter, as it went outside, is seeing the wind starting to whip up snow and ice, and the blizzard is building.
I broke it.
All right. So
I broke it.
as it gets outside, Tallies will say, "It looks like the weather's taking a turn for the worse outside." And then when it comes back in here, Tallies would say, "Oh, that looks like there are two people trapped in a cage in the other room."
One more science experiment. Can I refocus more snow, more ice? I want frickin' sub-zero temperatures. I want vision reduced to inches of within your face. I want the worst snowstorm ever, and just really concentrate.
When you're concentrating on snow and ice, you can feel, the joy and the feeling of power as the wind all whips up and it's lots of snow. And everyone by now can hear it because it takes about a minute to build up. But by now, everybody can hear it, and you can kind of feel some of the wind coming down the main corridor. And looking outside, you really can't see anything outside anymore.
Hey, Scott. So a little tired from concentrating so very hard. I'm just gonna kind of stand up from the throne a little weakly and go, I did that.
Yes, you did. Ooh, a nat 20 for me. Ooh, cool.
No, it's not cool.
Thank you, Don.
Why would you do this? That mammoth's gonna wake up and it's gonna be like, I'm gonna break free. Oh,
Ruin that one.
20! Oh, no, it's rampaging everywhere!
Well, it's
You
tied up
guys-
with ropes as well, so it'd have to make a separate
Yeah.
check for each.
It's true.
Yeah, do you have do you do anything to try and wake the thing up, or are you just letting it go naturally?
Web lasts for an hour, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, it lasts for
I
an
heard
hour, and
something
he's-
about a cage. There's kobolds.
He's going to be unconscious.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave them be for a bit. Since everybody's still standing around the throne, I'm just gonna something about a cage, guys.
Yeah, there's some captives in the room, and I kind of turn and point in like this direction, probably the southern door. It doesn't go through from behind here.
I'm just gonna kind of gesture like,
Yeah, should we go talk to them?
So you said like right here?
Where's
yeah,
the
well-
door that doesn't open.
I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm going to use a key point and make a door.
Right. Cool. I'm just going to turn off the dynamic lighting.
No, don't.
How
I already
about
did it. I fixed it.
that? Did you?
Yes. There's now a hole that we can see through.
Did. Thank you. There's now a hole there.
Found a door.
Let me do some little markings here as to where that door is so that I can see the door there. Here and here. There we go. Okay, so in here, I mean, it's pretty obviously what you see. Actually, the two of these, because they saw the specter coming in and that was scary, and so they're kind of huddled in the back of the cage here.
Talis will kind of walk up to them and say, Sinoka?
Don't hurt us. Don't hurt us. Please, please, can we go home?
Who are you?
I'm Silja. This is Finn. And you can see that the girl is if you get a good look at her, can you get a good look where you? Yeah, you can get kind of a look at her. I mean, she's kind of spindly, and snow is clinging to the end of her long braids.
Do you happen to know a bunch of small children?
I'm sorry?
It was a bunch of small children asked us to come and look for their friends.
We're from Dugan's Hole, and yeah, we know some of the kids at Dugan's Hole. Actually, we know most of the kids at Dugan's Hole. And the boy kind of leans up and whispers, and they're both shivering very badly. And you can even as far away as you are, you can hear the boy's teeth chattering. I mean, this is a huge slatted animal cage with a locked gate attached to it by rusty hinges.
Well, I don't know about doing anything for the cage, but I can help make them not freeze to death. I'm just gonna point at the area maybe 10 feet ahead of them, and I'm just gonna cast Create Bonfire, so that a big pillar of flame materializes and can help spread some warmth.
I will also help by pointing at their clothes and casting Prestidigitation.
I was really concerned with where
Warm it
that was
up.
going. Like, I'm gonna point at their clothes and set the children on fire.
And now their clothes will be slightly warm.
They're kind of cringing away from you, but I mean, the draw of the warmth is just too great, and they do start moving closer towards it.
So,
While they're warming up the kids and all that, I want to take a close look at that lock.
Okay. It is a really sturdy lock, and it looks like it could be somewhat give me investigation on it. Let's see how observant you are. It looks like it's gonna be stiff and difficult to move the pieces, but it looks doable given enough time.
I want to pick the lock then.
Okay. I won't make you roll for that because you've got plenty of time. Yeah, after a while, it is really stiff. It is really something, and at one point you're a little worried one of your picks might break. This is one of the stiffest locks you've ever done, but it's also fairly large, and so you're able to finally get it to click open, and it comes apart.
All right, so we can now open the gate.
And the gate, those rusty hinges, it creaks loudly as you open that gate. Just squeals loudly.
If it's super rusty, I'm gonna look at one of the bigger guys and say, can one of you guys come do this? My strength is 8. I'm not gonna be able to open a rusty gate.
You just pull it open.
It's rusted.
I'm just gonna kind of walk over and like one hand just push it open.
And it squeals very loudly as it opens. And the two look kind of fitfully and look like, they want out, but they want the warmth. And right now they want the warmth more than they want out. But they kind of look at you and it's like, what do you intend for us?
We're setting you free.
Go home.
What about those wolves?
The wolves are dead.
Dead? Are you sure? They were sneaky. They were really sneaky. Are you sure they weren't just plain dead?
They're about
Pretty
as
sure
dead
from all
as
the blood.
anything can be.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, if they wanted to, couldn't they just wait here a bit longer and then come back with us?
Well, I do want to wait here and get warm. Are you sure we won't be caged in again here?
If you are caged again, we can always let you out again, right?
Okay.
I mean, it worked once. There's no reason it wouldn't work again.
Okay. And how did you do that with the wall?
Oh, that's an ability I have to manipulate the ice around us. But
And
for
their
now,
eyes just are huge in wonder. It's like, whoa.
yeah. So, made a nice easy path for us. But you may want to wait here while we finish looking around. I believe there were some others, possibly on the other side, that might need assistance.
Indeed.
Okay.
I can leave my Spectre here to just keep an eye out, make
Yeah,
sure that
yeah.
nothing comes up behind us or whatever.
That might be best.
So are we gonna head out?
We're gonna go see
Yeah.
what's up with them kobolds.
Okay.
Into this.
As you head out that way, the wind coming in is really strong, and the closer you get to the doorway, the stronger it is.
Pip, why'd you
Yeah.
make this storm?
You're gonna need to give me some athletics for how easily you managed to get out here and control the way here.
I'm gonna go ahead and use Azathoth as like a windbreak.
Except Azathoth's currently over by the doorway still.
No, I'm over here.
You're over there. I shall put you over there. Okay, so Azathoth is large and is able to move through, and if Tali sticks close to him, you'll be able to force your way through the storm. That this is the worst blizzard you've been in yet here in the Icewind Dale.
Right. As we're going, since Anwise has gone the other way and taken his lantern, I can't see, so I'm gonna have my Spectre come with me so that I can actually know where I'm going. Because I don't think in this wind lighting a torch would do any good.
Okay. Azathoth, you'll need to tell me where. Oh, there! I saw your token move. Your token went somewhere. Eek! Your token went teeny tiny. Oh, there you are. I can see your token moving! Yay! Okay, and you have to. It takes a while as you batter your way through the storm, but and find your way over to this one. And even as you get to the entryway here, even through all of the snow, you don't get very far in before the stench hits you. It's like, oh, it reeks in here horribly.
Does it smell like my loot fish?
It smells worse because it's rancid. Because this How long ago was that? Because that carcass there has been there for a year?
It means it's aged quite fine.
It's well aged. That's a good way to put it. It is well aged, but yeah. So Azathoth might not mind it, but Tully's, it really reeks in here.
Yeah, Charlie's is going to go ahead and just cover his nose.
And
Walk by.
as you get up, okay, now keep moving. As you get a little further, you see kind of you can see just on the edge of your vision, a little rustle of movement as something darts behind one of the chairs.
Kobolds, you can come out now. I'll say that in Draconic.
Okay.
The large mammoth is incapacitated.
And unconscious.
And the closest one sticks his head up. Are you sure? I kind of peeked out and I wasn't. Oh. Eek! What's that? And it ducks back behind.
I am an Azathoth.
He was looking at this when it. Are you sure? Are you sure it's safe?
Enough with these shenanigans. Come out.
And they're hunched over and as small as they can be as they sort of creep forward. Who are you?
I am Azathoth.
Okay,
This
who's Azathoth?
is Thales.
Hello. So why are you kobolds in here in this giant's cave?
Well, we thought it was abandoned because we heard that the giant was dead, and we thought that we could sort of move in, that it'd be free. But we kind of got trapped in here because there was that mammoth kind of chased us until we sort of hid from it. We've been here for several days and are awfully hungry.
And from where
it
do
peeks
you
around there and sees that mammoth and ducks back again.
from where do you come originally? Are you from Dugan's Hole?
No, the Dugan's Hole people don't like us. We were at Bryn Shander.
You are a long ways from Bryn Shander. I'm gonna pull out my chest, and I'll pull out 3 of my rations, and hand portions of loot fish to the 3 hungry kobolds.
Cluster around you, and they're so hungry that they will eat that gratefully.
Ah, you are a fan of the salted fish. I am regretful that I have no mead to offer as well, but you are welcome to eat.
Oh, thank you. We've melted a little bit of snow for water.
You cannot eat food fish with water.
And they keep putting glances over at the restrained and sleeping, unconscious mammoth.
We are.
So are you a new giant to take over this lodge?
I do like the sound of this.
One of them kind of nudges him. He's kind of small for a giant.
What did you say?
Nothing, your worshipfulness. Thank you for the food. That's what I said.
We're going to be leaving shortly. There are other captives that had been stuck here. We'll be taking them with us to Dugan's Hole. If you need an escort, you're welcome to join us.
what about that one? And pointing towards the mammoth.
He should be asleep for a while yet.
Yeah, he can't come.
Whoa. I wish to have words with it, if able. But for now, we should get the little ones to safety.
Makes sense.
So, why don't we take them to the room with the cage and the fire? And they can wait there, far away from the mammoth, until we wake it up. And or finish looting this place. Because, you know, searched like no rooms, literally.
Oh, my specter's been around the rooms. The as far as it could see, there wasn't really anything to loot. There was some barrels of blubber in the other room and a giant
That
sleeping
sounds like
bag.
something to loot. That's where they hide the good loot, inside the blubber. You didn't know?
No, the Goliaths that I live with didn't do that.
Oh, looking very serious now. You lived with Goliaths?
Indeed, that's where I learned to speak the giant's tongue.
You do not speak the giant's tongue.
I start speaking in giant. I definitely speak the giant's tongue.
Val, who has taught an outsider the tongue of the ram. This is not okay.
I had an agreement with a tribe in the mountains,
What tribe?
and I lived with them for about a year.
What tribe? Who do you know? And I grab him by his coat. What do you know? What have you heard?
Well, I wanted to study the giant's language so that I could try and understand these particular giants actually had an affinity with a special kind of magic that used runes, similar to like the one we found on the chair over there. And so, as a way of understanding the relationship between magic and language, I arranged to be able to live with them for a while. I spent the last year living with them.
What is their name?
Let me just look that up. I do actually have it. Somewhere. Might need to move on just while I'm looking. I have to scroll up a lot.
Okay.
All right. Andwise is getting impatient. I'm going to actually attempt to cross the web.
Okay. That is going to require
Dex a DC 18.
Yeah. I mean, it fills a 20-foot cube. Well, I mean, Dex was to stay out of it there. If it isn't anchored between two solid masses, which it is anchored between two solid masses.
Yeah, it fills the entire 20-foot cube. So, however high the ceiling is, 20 feet towards the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. I won't be able to get over the top of that then. That would require some serious acrobatics to be able to climb the web and not get stuck to it.
You could ask Lander to make another door the other side.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to get over there, Andwise?
Yes.
Come right over here to punch a little wall over here and open a doorway.
And open.
So
What's going on in here?
So yeah, when you walk in, there's 3 kobolds eating a bunch of fish, and then I have Tales like up off the ground by his collar, and I'm like yelling at him. What do you know?
Yeah, the tribe I lived with was they were called the Steel Peak tribe of the mountains a little actually even further north of here.
Oh, and I just center you down on your feet, and I brush off your shoulders. Well, it seems there's a door.
Yeah, we probably could have done that earlier instead of going outside.
I mean,
Azatoth summoned the storm. It makes sense for him to have to battle his way through it.
Yep. Although now we I think we have access to pretty much the entire area without having to go outside at all.
Well, aside from, oh yeah, we don't have to go outside.
and we went down there. Oh, that's where the sleeping bag was, right?
Yeah, the sleeping bag and the hole
So
that leads to the outside.
now, with the whole party having witnessed that little event, Azatoth is gonna just storm off, right? Just he's just gonna avoid discussion.
Okay.
We're going to just run to the room with the sleeping bag because you mentioned it, and we haven't found any loot.
And one of the kobolds that kind of tugs at Tales' arm. Did you say something about warmth?
Oh yeah, just through there, there's a bonfire with a couple of kids kind of huddled around it, and I can't start walking through.
Okay, and they scuttle their way through. And yeah, from here, I'm sure they can see the light going through.
Hey, Tollies, make sure the kobolds don't scare the kids.
Aren't they adults?
Are they?
They're teenagers.
Okay.
They're kids.
They're yeah. So are you.
Yeah, well, that's not up for debate.
All right, yeah, Tallies will come in and say, these kobolds are cold as well. They're gonna share the fire with you for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and leave my Spectre here to keep an eye on things. Bear in mind that if anybody causes any problems, I will melt the lot of you. So just bear that in mind. I'm kind of directing it to the kobolds more than anything.
Wow.
The kobolds kind of shake in fear a little bit cold, and they come in and sort of huddle in next to the fire here too.
So,
all right, so
Pip, as you round that corner, right, Azatoth is currently like taking his glaive and chopping apart the leather and cloth of the giant sleeping bag, trying to just rip it apart and see if there's anything like tucked inside. And he's swearing the whole time, half in Goliath and half in common.
It is matted and the fur for the bedroll is matted and musty, and you actually see that there are some signs that it had been searched. I mean, it was kind of mussed in ways of someone searching it, and you do not find anything in it.
There's nothing here.
There's barrels over here.
They're full of blubber.
Then as you get closer to this room, there's a foul stench pervading it. So there's whale blubber, there's whale oil. Whale oil is used as a fuel in 10 towns. It's one of the major sources of fuel in 10 towns. So that has some value. This is a hole, and these are the marks. Let me move that to the map.
The Remora's hole that you referenced earlier.
Oops. Yeah. Oops. Hang on. It disappeared.
Control Z.
There we go. So that's the direction of the Remora's hole. The direction the tunnel goes.
So what I'm hearing is if we can load up all these barrels onto the dreadnought, then I'm sorry, the Nautiloid, and we can eventually sell them in town.
You have to get them to the Nautiloid, but yeah.
I mean, there is a handy dandy hole that leads right to the outside.
There is. And you can hear, I mean, the wind doesn't come down through it much, but you can hear the whistling wind across the other mouth of the hole.
Those barrels look kind of heavy.
Yeah. If the scale is right, they're like 10 feet in diameter. They're huge.
Yeah, they are huge.
Perhaps we could.
And each of them weighs, so if you go over and you'll try and lift one, each of those weighs 500 pounds.
I think I can carry 500 pounds.
Yeah, but there are 5 of them.
Let's see, strength 17.
And you carry 2,500 pounds? And you
No.
need to use your rope to lash them all to you and all.
Wait, hold on. All right. Okay. All right. Math.
Although you could fly the Ediscendant here and send it, and park right outside by the hole.
Then we can carry them one at a time. Yeah. Push, drag, carry. I think this is what I look up more than anything else.
Yeah, you can. Well, your normal carrying capacity is 510, so your push lift carry is going to be 1020.
I am a Goliath.
Yeah. That's why it's those, and not less. Because normally it's your strength times 15, but yours is strength times 30 because you're a Goliath, and then your push lift drag is double.
Strength score multiplied by 15. Okay, so we can carry one, maybe drag a couple more, but it's not. It's a moot point unless the Nautiloid is here.
We at least know it's here, and it's not. I don't think very many people come around.
Do we have
this
any
area.
containers?
So, are you trying to get it to the point to sell it?
Is that
Well, why don't we just say we have the barrels, and then if someone wants to purchase them, we'll just tell them where they can pick it up at. So we don't actually have to move it. We'll just leave it here, and they'll have to come here and get it.
how many
No,
people
because-
are going to buy something that they then need to go on a trek to go and pick up?
They
It's
can
like, hey,
wait-
we've got this really valuable thing. If you pay us now,
Yeah.
It's just, it's going to be
Yeah.
300 gold. You just got to go over there to that giant's cave and pick it up. Cheers for the gold. See you
Right.
later.
just make it cheaper. Just put it outside the cave, and then they can go.
We'll sell it at discount because you have to go and pick it up.
That sounds fair to me.
I mean, it's more
No.
gold.
That's not going to work. Because let's say somebody buys 1 barrel. You got to go pick it up. They come out here to pick up 1 barrel, see 5 barrels. All of a sudden, we're down 4 barrels.
But can they carry
unsold.
5 barrels? That's the whole thing.
If-
We have a spaceship, and we don't know if we can carry it all.
Who's to say they don't bring out a sled team?
That sounds like a lot of work for them to do.
You'd need 1 sled team for each.
For each,
Barrel.
yeah.
Yeah, you
But
wouldn't bring
that-
5
they
sled
could do
teams
that.
if you're going to pick up 1 barrel.
Listen, all I know is she said it's valuable, and we're not leaving it here in this cape. Somehow,
But why not?
I'm taking this blubber with me.
But why take it now, given that everybody seems to
Fine.
be afraid of this place?
Fine. I will mark in my notes. What the heck is this place called? I don't know. Frost Giant Place.
Ice Lodge.
Lodge.
Yeah.
There we go. That'll work. Ice Lodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barrels of whale money. I know what that means.
And you might be able to render some additional from the carcass in the other room. I mean,
Oh,
it's
God.
been frozen, but it's...
All right. All right. Now what? Is it time to go?
Yeah, I think so.
Does
I'm not seeing much else here.
anyone else want to sit on the throne and try to get the weather to calm down? When I sat on it, I was only able to make the storm more intense.
If that's what it does, I mean, if I tried it, I'd probably end up not being able to keep the webbing around the mammoth. So probably best not be me.
It's been almost an hour. You're feeling the webbing wane.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That reminds me. So I'm going to go. It's still tied up, right?
It is still tied up.
Hey, Cairo. Can you restore it to health? Just enough to wake it up.
Yes, I believe so. And I will use my lay on hands.
And the mammoth starts to stir and grumble and shift around.
I'm going to try and just pet it. It's easy. Easy. We could have killed you.
And it awakens with a roar. Give me a persuasion or animal handling.
Let's go persuasion. Hey, that's not terrible.
That is not terrible. Ooh. Oh, here it is. Oh, what is the persuasion? And so what are you telling it? You're telling it easy. What?
Easy. We could have killed you and chose not to. We don't bear you any ill will.
God, God. It wails out and it starts struggling.
Yes,
How hard is it going to struggle here?
Probably not very much. We tied it really good, right, boys?
Sure did.
We sure did.
Yep.
Okay. So it's
Yes.
So it's sort of struggling pretty hard, and you can hear the ropes creaking
Listen,
as it's trying to, as it looks like it's trying to get up.
No. Easy. You've lost your master, yes?
Yes.
And
Adventurers killed him like you! Adventurers like you! This is all your fault! He starts madly, really very hard struggling.
No, and I'm going to keep petting his trunk. But it wasn't us. We have just come recently looking for the others in the cage. That's probably not a good thing to say. But this is the first time I've met you or your master. Why would they kill him?
Because they're bloody adventurers who go around murdering people.
Well, not all adventurers are the same.
I mean, we do kind of murder.
He doesn't need to know that.
But he's not murdered. That is the point.
Yes, that you're exactly right. We did not murder the grieving elephant. I feel for him. Listen. What is your name, friend? Can we be friends? You do know it wasn't us that harmed your master, right?
Oh, okay, it can be persuaded. You're all armored, and you have weapons, and
I can put my
you're
weapon away.
equipped like the people who murdered Garagai. But he's starting to. His struggles are a lot less, and he's sounding more pathetic and less angry.
If you can agree, I can put my weapon away. So can my friends. We could even untie you and let you free. But I need your word that you won't attack us.
And I must avenge my master.
And you know, I respect loyalty. I feel for you. I might even be so inclined to help you get your revenge. But to do that, you have to again agree that us here, we are not your enemy, and you will not attack anyone that is present.
Agreed.
I look around to the rest of the group. Are we good?
Yep. I'll go
Can
ahead
I
and go.
inside his agreement?
You can. With a 20, as far as you can tell, he seems resigned, but it does seem an honest agreement. You don't detect any deceit.
Yeah, I'm going to drop concentration on the web.
Cool. And I'll untie the ropes and let him free.
He kind of lumbers up to his feet and sort of stomps a little bit around, kind of getting himself back around. And he kind of sighs. I hurt like my master hurt. And he kind of wanders over to and is going to trample over you guys if you don't move out of the way. I mean, very gently and not maliciously, but
But he is a mammoth.
he's a mammoth, and even gently walking over you, it's gonna hurt. And he comes back over by the ripped up body of his master.
So, out of curiosity, why is he in ice like this?
That was my question. Who entombed him in the ice?
The ice formed over time.
Oh, so he's been dead a while?
Oh, well, it's hard to tell. It feels like a set of seasons, but there are no seasons.
And
That explains why the whale carcass seemed to have been there for about a year.
What is your name, friend Mammoth?
I am Norsu.
Norsu? It is my honor to meet you. I am Azatoth. This is Pip, Andwise, Landar, Cairo, and Thales.
I give a small wave.
Norsu, you cared very deeply for your master, didn't you?
Yes. My master looked out for me ever since that druid cursed me, and I was no longer one of my people.
I know what it means to be without a tribe. I am afraid that we cannot replace your master, but if you are willing, you're welcome to join our tribe. we can look out for you if you can help us on occasion. That's what a tribe does, right, friends? We all help each other.
Right.
Indeed.
I'm gonna go up to Azatoth and say, "You do realize he will not fit on the Nautiloid, right?"
You might. I mean, it's a spaceship, right? The doors are open wide. Besides, if we have a frickin' mammoth, why do we need a spaceship?
Norsu stays with Garagai.
But what will Norsu eat?
What Norsu has been eating.
What?
That-
What?
What is that?
Yeah. What has Norsu been eating?
Well, I tramp outside for plants under the snow. You're disturbing me here. And he turns, he's getting a little agitated. You're
No.
desecrating my master's tomb.
Now, Norsu. We had an agreement. I still
Simmers
think
back down.
that we can help each other. What if we try to help you find the people who came and are responsible, truly responsible for your master's death? If we found them, you could have your revenge. But of course, you would need to help us as well. And there are all these barrels in the other room that we can't carry to town.
Norsu looks kind of sideways at you. What do I care for barrels?
You don't, but I do. I do. I want those barrels very much.
You take the barrels yourself.
All right.
I stay and guard my master.
Okay. And just give a little wave. I tried my best. I figured if I wasn't gonna get a mammoth friend, the best we could do is maybe have him mule the barrels.
You may show respect by praying over my master's body.
I am. I'm gonna look around to the rest of the group.
Yeah,
think-
Tarly's can might be able to do something here. So he's gonna come over. He is familiar with a lot of like sort of rituals and whatnot, and religious ceremonies as part of his studies. Obviously, he spent a lot of time studying giants and their language and their history and their culture and how they and how sort of Goliaths relate to, true giants and stuff. So he might have an idea because frost giants are fairly common in the area. He would probably have the greatest knowledge of sort of them. So I'm going to try and essentially say a prayer in giant with a sort of a leaning towards the frost giant side of things.
Yeah, history check with advantage.
Okay.
And the mammoth is looking over at the rest of you, and there's starting to get a glint in the eye. Although it sobers down as Tally's gets into the prayer and all, and simmers down and stops looking at the rest of you because it is really it is calming and soothing, and you pray good. You may stay with vigil over my master with me if you wish.
Well, when the rest of my my tribe here leaves, I'll have to go with them because I need to help guide them, just as you guide your master.
And the mammoth nods its large head.
And I'll
understands.
step back, and I'll just say, just try and pretty much say what I said.
All right,
Okay.
well, we should probably gather things that we have in this other room here and leave. And Lendar just slips through this hole and hoping the mammoth doesn't notice that there's a giant hole there now.
He doesn't care. He doesn't show any evidence of caring one way or the other on that.
I will follow.
The storm is still raging outside.
Guys, I don't really want to mess with the chair now that the huge mammoth is out there.
Yeah, actually, I'll come back through and say, in giant, Norsu, do you know how to use the chair? It seems to affect the weather outside. Is that right?
Norsu blinks at you blankly.
Okay. Would it be okay if I tried to use the chair to just alter the weather?
And you're still speaking in giant?
I'm still speaking in giant, yeah.
Norsu blinks at you blankly.
Okay. I guess I'll speak. I'll say it again in common then, and I'll say, no. I guess you don't speak the giant's tongue. Do you know how to use the chair, your master's chair?
I don't use my master's chair. Only my master uses his chair.
Okay. Well, it seems to control the weather outside, but the weather's very, very bad. With that being like that, we can't really leave right now. Would you mind if I tried to use it to just make the weather so that we can leave? Obviously, you don't want a lot of people crowding around your vigil with your master and interrupting.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration on it.
A mammoth could shrug. It would look like whatever it is Norsu does right now.
Okay. Thank you. I'll try to be as quick and respectful as I can, and I'll head over to the chair. I'll hop on up and see if I can concentrate on these magics and focus on a soft, gentle breeze and a very light fluttering of snow.
And you feel the effects of the chair as I've described to the others, and you feel a power, and you feel the storm, and it builds. And as you try to focus on calming, it's like the chair sort of disregards you, and you don't feel like you don't feel like you're having any effect.
Okay.
Looks like we get to brave the storm, boys.
I don't want to cast a spell magic on the chair.
Oh, son of...
Although maybe that'd work.
Let me see.
Like it probably wouldn't get rid of the magic entirely, but it would probably turn it off for a while. Maybe.
Okay, so you can try Dispel Magic.
Okay. Um, hmm. Before I do, I'm gonna. Is there anything that I can do to try and see if I can get a more intimate understanding as to how the chair actually works? Like the feeling of power and everything seems to draw out wanting to use it to create more, but the feeling of calming seems to not have anything, like not really do anything. Like,
Okay.
is
You
there
can
like a method
you can
that
give
I
me an
can maybe
Arcana
work
check.
out? Sure, I'll go ahead with that first.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it actually seems to, looking at it and thinking about it and thinking through what you know about this, it seems like there's essentially a summoning spell, a high-level summoning spell embedded in this. So the rest of the feeling is largely illusion, that this is designed to bring on a blizzard. It's not designed to control weather.
Okay, so it pretty much just the chair calls a blizzard. Is the chair currently? I guess I'll go ahead and use detect magic to see if the chair is, like, I don't know, maybe currently actually doing it, or if it just like sort of cast the spell and it's just there, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
rather than it's like, I guess, concentrating on it per se.
Go outside and dispel the blizzard.
So it's going to be another first level spell.
Yeah. So this gives you conjuration magic, and the magic appears quiescent, from which you can reasonably infer it cast the spell and it's not concentrating.
Okay. That being the case, okay, I'll kind of get up and say, well, thank you for letting me try Nosu. I'll turn to the party and say, it looks like this blizzard's going to be here until it goes. The chair's not going to be any help in trying to stop it.
It's not the first blizzard we walked through.
Well, then, do you think we should probably try and wait out the storm? Maybe it will calm down then?
I mean, we can, if we're going to do it, might want to do it in the other room away from Nosu, just so that we're not disturbing them.
Yeah, I agree. We probably get some.
There's a nice sheltered room in the back here.
Landa, maybe you could close us up. It'd block off the wind, and the heat from the bonfire would eventually build in here.
Well, I would, but we've been running pretty rampant trying to get towards here, following the tracks of the wolves. I've used up a lot of my ability to maintain control of ice. I'll need at least a little bit of a break before I can
I see.
do that.
Okay. Well, I guess we're all just gonna huddle around the fire for a while until we, you know, until the storm passes.
Okay. So the hours drag on and drag on, and you can still hear it out there. And as the hours pass, you get the benefit of a long rest.
Woot.
And when the blizzard and the storm dies down and starts going quiet, actually you notice it going quiet before it's died down. And as you peek your head around to look at the entrance, the lodge is buried in snow.
Can we see any daylight out the entrance?
You cannot.
Well, I think we need to go now. If not, we're just gonna have to
Did
dig
you
through.
hear you get the benefit of a long rest?
I did not. Okay.
I think we need to go now.
All right. So, just give me a second. I'm probably going to send my Spectre out to see how deep the snow is.
Is it capable
but
of
I just wanna
traversing
see.
through the snow?
Yeah, it can go through solid objects. I'm just making sure that it might be able to, depending on how deep the snow is.
Okay, so how far can it go away from you?
300
Up to
feet.
300 feet.
Okay. So it's piled in about maybe 6 or 7 feet, and it does sort of obscure the entire lodge, and it's sort of piled up around and blown up against the sides of it. And I mean, now you can see daylight, and it's calm, but it looks like the fresh landscape
Sorry,
buried
it
deep
can't
for a
go through.
long way around.
It can't go through. No, it can go through creatures, but not objects, apparently.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. You can't see any of that.
Simple solution. I'm gonna cast Create Bonfire on the door. It should melt It should melt the snow from the intense heat, and then
it melts the snow really fast, and you get rivulets of water flowing, kind of flowing in and all. So this is now very, very slick.
it'll be fine.
But you can see
We have
the
crampons.
daylight. You can see the daylight outside.
So it's not that deep.
Yeah, I mean, because your bonfire.
It's a bonfire. It's hundreds of degrees.
Yeah.
So I will.
So you can see that it's about it'll carve a space out, and you can see that it's a good 6 feet deep. But yeah, it melts away from the bonfire rather quickly.
So we would have to climb up out of the snow, as if we were in a hole to exit.
Yes.
All right, let's go before it snows more and we get trapped here.
Agreed.
I will take my handy dandy shovel, and I will use it to widen the hole, make steps, etc., so that we can all climb out easy as possible.
Well, and Landar has had a long rest, so.
You don't have to waste your key, dog. I got a shovel.
Simple solutions.
Yeah. So you are able to dig your way out. And I'm actually going to move the party to the mood. There's Williamson back. I'm going to move the party to the Mood Dugan's Hole map, because you are out. Although it is daylight. It's not very bright. This is Icewind Dale. And you are able to trod your way back. Now, there are no tracks anywhere. This is very deep feet, which you've got your snowshoes, so that's fine. You can get up on top of it, but it is all beautiful as far as you can see.
All right. I guess Dugan's Hold.
Does anyone remember which direction we traveled to get to the giant's place?
We went south.
Southwest. South by southwest, actually.
Oh, good. If that is the case.
How good? Give me a survival check on that, Andwise.
Can he get advantage because two people knew that answer?
I said south too, so.
All right, I'll give you advantage on it, Andwise.
Yeah, I was going to say that Tally's remembers that when we were heading towards Dugan's Hold, we saw this structure, and it was to the southwest of.
Okay, this is true. This is true. Okay, and with that survival check, Andwise can looking at the sun, because it is daylight, figure out roughly which way to go. Well, I mean,
As sunny as it
as
gets.
much as you can see of the sun I mean, you can put out something, and get, even if it's cloudy, you can still get enough of a shadow to see where the sun is in order to determine which way, especially with a survival roll of 19.
Is there still
So-
currently a blizzard?
No, it is all calm and quiet. It is
Cool.
completely
So
died away.
so now that we know the direction, we should be able to navigate without problem? Question mark?
I'm gonna
Yes.
say that we came from that direction. I'm gonna point in the wrong way, then start walking in the correct direction.
Ooh. I'm just gonna follow Andwise.
Where he actually goes rather than where he points.
Yeah. Little bastard.
Oh, it is.
I'm also going to dismiss my glaive to the pocket dimension, discorporate it temporarily, so that any enchantments that had been placed upon it would be effectively destroyed, as it no longer exists as an item.
Yes, that would dispel the writing on your glaive that hovers over your glaive. Yes.
You know, if you weren't being turned, I probably would have forgotten it until the next combat again.
In which case it would have come back up. All right, so it takes you, heading back. It's actually easier than when you came out. It's not dark. You're not lost, and you know where you're going. So it takes you, and you do have the kids with you,
Kids
and they do have
kobolds.
their cold weather gear. They are wearing their cold weather gear. So,
Are the kobolds
let's see.
wearing cold weather gear?
They are.
All
Because
right.
they were wearing cold weather gear when they got here. The kobolds kind of whisper to each other and all of this, and they kind of look back at the mammoth, and someone with sharp ears might hear that they're kind of debating: do they want to try and stay here? Do they want to just escape? Do they want to hang out with these guys? Do any of you do anything to try and influence their decision?
I would probably say if you're thinking of staying with the mammoth, it's probably not a good idea. He'd probably just think that you're some thieves and go ahead and trample you. You're welcome to come with us to Dugan's Hold, or you can go off on your own. It's up to you.
We'll stick close to you. The Dugan's Hole people don't like us very much.
I don't like anybody.
And they kind of look at the two. They look at the two teenagers, who kind of scowl at them and look like they don't like them very much.
Well, perhaps we could help find you employment in Tourmaline.
Indeed, there's actually a group of kobolds that are friends of ours that are in Tourmaline.
Are there?
Yeah.
What do they do in Tourmaline?
They mine.
Is it good pay?
It is now.
Best.
It used to be really bad pay, but we arranged it so that they have very good pay now.
They kind of whisper with each other and they nod. We want to go to Tourmaline.
Okay, well, you can follow us to Dugan's Hold, and then from there, you guys can head over to Tourmaline. And once you get there, just find the other kobolds in town and tell them that Azathoth sent you.
I thought he was Azathoth.
Yes, he is.
And they kind of look expectantly at Azathoth.
I wave.
We tell them you sent us?
Yes. I am the de facto head of the Kobold Miners Union.
Kobold Miners Union.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be able to explain it to you when you get there.
Excellent. And they kind of perk up and they're looking kind of eager. So you've fed them, you've warmed them, you're offering them employment. This is all a good thing. They're going to stick with you here to Dugan's Hole. And the two teenagers are scowling. Why do you give jobs to these folk?
You know, if you keep that face, it'll freeze like that. I've seen it happen.
And the boy kind of looks at the girl. Aunt Marna. And they kind of nodded to each other. And they try and rearrange their faces a little bit, and it looks worse. Okay, so crossing the frozen tundra. All right, so it is going to be late morning, kind of nearing lunchtime then, as you approach Dugan's Hole, and I'm moving the party to the Dugan's Hole map. And you will be coming from, the area down by where the wolf is. The wolf shouldn't be there. You'll be coming past the 20 Stuns of Thrun on your way to the town. Oh, party. Let me move the party token further down.
So once we actually get into town, where are we dropping the kids off at?
Well, as you get
Anywhere.
close enough to hear, they start running. And, as fast as they can on snowshoes. And they're actually pretty fast on snowshoes. They kind of live on
Wait
snowshoes.
a minute. We want to see where you live so we can collect the reward.
How fast is fast?
Are you going to chase out? You can easily outpace them. You can easily keep up with them if you so wish. I don't remember if Azathoth can easily keep up with them, but I know Landar can.
I'm very
Landar
heavy.
starts jogging backwards, keeping pace with them, just like, hey, where you going?
Yeah, pretty much. What was that, Azathoth?
I'm very heavy.
Okay. So they come up close to the town, and they come to a dead stop with their mouths open and their eyes open wide in absolute horror as they get their first look at the devastation.
Yeah, so while y'all were playing around in a cage, a dragon attacked the entire town.
And it's your fault. You didn't eat your vegetables. So the dragon came.
It does actually say that.
No.
That's right, because they ran. Landar's with them, but Azathoth it's not.
I'm not even there.
Oh my goodness.
But that's good parroting for everybody at home. When something tragic happens, you blame it on the kids and tell them that's how you eliminate problem behaviors.
Just how it works. And they panic. So you said there was a dragon. They panic and take off running off in this kind of direction. Are you continuing to keep pace with them?
Yeah, because I need to know where they're heading and what they plan to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we
And
train
they run
Junior.
up to one of the houses that's,
You're the reason
badly
Mommy and Daddy
damaged
fight.
but not
It's
completely
because
gutted.
you won't eat your broccoli.
And they're shouting as they kind of as they start getting kind of close, they're shouting and people that hear them are starting to come out and are starting to mutter, and it's getting louder and louder as it ripples through that. And I have forgotten their names. Oh dear. Anyways, they start calling out the kids' names as they're coming, and the kids are running. And a woman comes out. She's kind of covered in soot and very tired looking. It looks like she's been kind of working to try and clean up that house. As she comes out, and she comes running up to the kids to hug the kids. Thank you. Yes, Finn and Scylla. Thank you very much, Andwise. And she comes running up to give them a big hug, and she's just crying, and she was sure that they were lost, and it's a very touching scene. And you're the only one there with them, Landar, as the others are back a ways.
So I say to the woman, yeah, my party and we found them in a giant ice lodge, trapped in a cage. It was horrible. We were able to get them out and feed them and keep them warm, and got them here as quickly as possible.
is a miracle. It is an absolute miracle. And she's, holds their faces and all this, and it's, thank you so much. I my husband had died a few years ago, and I thought that these were gone too. And oh, you are here. What can I do to reward you? I don't have much. I know what I have. And she ducks back
Influence with the
inside,
speaker.
and is muttering. And she comes out and she's brushing off some boots. Some really nice boots that beautiful leather and fur boots.
Do they
And she
look
is,
sized for a giant?
No, they look sized for a human because they belonged to her husband. It's like my late husband. He had these that they were really good. It's all that we have after the devastation of the dragon. Please, you must take these. And she presses them upon Blandar.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Perhaps there's also something else that you could assist me with.
Anything. Tell me, what is it?
So there's some barrels of whale blubber that I need some hands to get moving.
Can we
town.
borrow your kids? Can we lash them to sleds and? What have I done to this party?
Yeah. Yeah. The boots are cool, but I need the labor. So can I have your kids?
Okay, a few days later, just a party of people just go walking into the cave.
Get trampled
the man
by
is still
them.
man is still crying. He's like, sorry, we're here to pick up some barrels. Oh, they're in the back.
So, she starts and she starts thinking about it, and she says, well, we mostly have boats and sleds for on the ice. I'm sure that amongst all of us, we could come up with some sleds. I think we could come up with some sleds that could haul. What sort of size are we talking?
Pretty good size. It'd probably weigh a few 100 pounds at least. But there's about 5 barrels that we need to try and get back to town.
And
so,
you're the people who rescued us from the dragon too, and have helped us rebuild. And you've restored my children to me.
Yeah.
We'll get a work party going. We'll get a work party going.
Yeah. It's about time someone around here shows us some respect.
And so she's gonna start heading off and start calling people, trying to find the strongest people, and she starts trying to organize that. And about this time, the rest of the party comes up.
Hey, Azathoth, we got some a work party to go get that whale blubber back to town.
Excellent. Thales, maybe we should work on trying to get the Nautiloid back in the air.
It's a good idea.
Get it ready to fly once we get all the blubber loaded. Then we could take it somewhere and sell it. Unless we could, do you think we could sell it here? No, you said there was no real commerce here before. It's all
very
residential.
Poor village. This is a very poor village.
Yeah, no, we don't want to stay here. There's nothing in Dugan's Hole.
Yeah, we kind of want to take.
We
this
saved
to
the wrong village,
standard.
boys.
So now, what are you? So you're gonna take the Id Ascendant to the lodge? What are the people then? The work party you're getting going for?
Well, okay, no. The Id Ascendant's not going anywhere yet. They're gonna load everything onto the Id, and then once it's loaded, hopefully it would have been repaired enough to where we can fly it again.
Okay. So while she is, so what are you guys going to do then while she is gathering people together and working on logistics?
Tallies is going to head to the Nautiloid and just work on see basically what he can do to try and repair it. Ask the ship for advice, like how do I fix this? How do I do that?
Is everyone heading to the Nautiloid?
I can't think
And
of.
who I still go with.
I can't think of anything else that there is to do in Dugan's Hole. There was, everyone has been really reluctant to talk to us, and without any real leads, I mean, there's no new information to gain, no current quests that are kind of unfinished here. So I don't know. I think the only thing really to do is to get ready to leave.
Okay. As you approach the Id Descendant, you're coming up and just to the edge of town there. And there's a little bit of gusting wind and a little bit of snow flurries. Andwise, you notice first that over alongside there are some forms. There's something over next to the Id Ascendant. And I'm going to move you, if I can find it, to the Id Ascendant map. You guys are actually coming from the south, and what you see is over here.
Kobolds. Hey!
There's some dog sleds approaching our ship.
Oh, they're parked there.
Yeah.
They're parked there, and the kobolds are just sort of idling around.
So I'm gonna shout again. Hey!
Someone's over the railing on the deck. A woman. Oh, not that one. Aha. A woman looks over the edge of your deck. She's up on the outer deck.
Uh-huh.
Ah, there you are. I've been waiting for you here at what I presume is your transport?
You would assume correct. You should get out of it.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Vlyn Harpel, of the Long Saddle Harpels, of course. And I am quite interested in the group of you. And that is where we are going to pick up next time.
No. I don't know about the rest of you, but I kind of want to,
Shoot first.
Right. That's our home, man. That's.
Yep.
We live in that spaceship. God damn it!
I'm Tallies of the acidic fireball. Can I introduce myself as Tallies of the acidic fireball and just show them by casting an acid fireball on them?
Actually, okay, so we aren't quite going to pick up next time. Let's, it's on.
No, we can save it. It's cool.
Okay, we will start with that next time. Of the acidic fireball. Yeah. We will start with that next time.
We'll just put a pin in that for later. All right. Well, you heard the boss. We are done for the day. I hope you all had fun. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already, join us on Discord. That's where we hang out through the week. We talk about a wide variety of things. Dungeons and Dragons, Final Fantasy, you name it. We got it. It's the best. Come and join us. And hopefully I see you tomorrow. Same time, 7 Eastern. We're going to be playing Tomb of Annihilation. It's going to be a great time. Goodbye, everyone.